Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the Dragon Prince, Book 4, Chapter 3. Last time we had the return of Rayla. Didn't take too long, but to be fair, the season's not too long, so they can't really hold that off too much. We also had the kind of reveal, I guess you could say, that Amaya's brother-in-law or future brother-in-law is kind of racist, if we're being honest, kind of cringe, um, using the entire excuse that it would hurt their race if his sister takes Amaya, like, in this kind of ceremony and everything. Like, he's saying, like, you could live together as if you are married, but don't, like, actually go through this ceremony. The symbolism of it will destroy us. And it's like, no, you're just racist. You're just absolutely fucking racist. There's no getting around it, dude. Kind of cringe, if you ask me. Um, I mean, I guess we also had some stuff with Viren, um, but I try not to pay too much attention to that. Um, we did, though, have a little bit with Zim. Zim got to return as well. He's a little older, and yeah, it's just doing dragon things. So, hey. um, so the question is, where is this going to go now? We've got some pretty good queer rep in this. We got a trans character, even if he is on the side of bad at the moment. He himself doesn't seem too bad. I mean, he's no Viren, but he's also quite a yes man. He's very much like one of those people who will just agree with anything someone says just because it's that person saying it. Um, which is also very cringe, if I'm being honest. But we'll have to see where all of this goes. Maybe Claudia will finally, stop being a dumbass and realize how terrible her father is and how she shouldn't be following him. I feel like there's almost a lesson in this about blind obedience and, um, what would be the right word? Just idolization, I guess, of your parent just because they're your parent. This is a thing that does happen in real life too. A lot of people will preach this idea that you always have to listen to your parents because they're your parents, that they always know what's best for you, and this is all entirely bullshit. It's all entirely bullshit. Like, if you have a good, loving relationship with your parents, yeah, sure. But not everybody is lucky enough to have that. People who are either stuck in a really bad relationship with their parents, or especially those who are, who have parents who are, abusive or, just terrible people in general, they shouldn't just be blindly obedient to them. In fact, it's detrimental for themselves and for others to do so. There is nothing wrong with setting personal boundaries and cutting off people, including parents, if they cross those. Those boundaries can be moral and ethical boundaries, they can be physical boundaries, they can be emotional boundaries, they can be all of that. And there is nothing wrong with like cutting abusive people out of that, even if they're your parents. It doesn't matter if they're your parents, honestly. If they're like that, and if they are a danger to your mental, physical, emotional health, or if they're just that terrible of people that you just shouldn't be associated with, then it's right to cut them out of your life. And this is what Claudia should be doing. And sometimes it's not easy, and I acknowledge that. I think Claudia having an arc with this makes sense. With her having to realize that, with her having to come to terms with that. But the problem is, we're 4 seasons in, and the shit that she's already seen is insane. She actively knows that he was going to kill her brother. She actively knows how evil he is. She just doesn't give a shit. She's just so ride or die with him just because he's her father, that she refuses, not that she refuses to see what's in front of her. She clearly knows, but she refuses to care. She believes if because it's her father, then he's the one who must be in the right, just because it's him. So I have no idea how, like when she's supposed to finally see the light, when it's like she should have already. It's ridiculous, honestly. It's like with all the things he's done at this point, the fact that she's still this invested in following him has to some degree, speak of her character as well. Can she change that? Without question, she can. And I do believe that people are very much deserving of second chances. But she has to be shown to be willing to change. And so far, she has not. In fact, quite the opposite. And on top of that, her new boyfriend is this much of a yes man who's just like seemingly obsessed with Viren. It's even though Viren hates him because Viren's a racist piece of shit. It's like, what, Terry, my dude? Like, you seem like an absolute sweetheart. Why the fuck would you idolize this guy? If he had his way, your entire race of people would be wiped out. He would commit a genocide on you. Do you not see this? Maybe this is going to be what's going to turn Claudia, though. Maybe he's going to, once he like gets his power back or whatever, maybe he's going to like attack Terry because, racist piece of shit. And that's going to wake her up because I mean, it's very probable that she does love Terry genuinely. It's just like, can we just see the light, for fuck's sake? And can we kill off this fucker for once and for all? Like, seriously, this dude should be dead. The fact that he didn't die, the fact that they just made him having to survive and everything, was sort of, it's bullshit. Like, they didn't need him to be alive to continue this entire thing with Erebos. Like, they could have just continued on and had Erebos be the new main villain. Hell, you could have made a good argument for actually having Claudia become a villain through this. I would have accepted that. Like, have this season, have Claudia be a villain and have her starting to realize, though, how terrible her father was. But she's only a villain in the sense that she's like vengeful because of her father, but starts to realize, like, oh no, I shouldn't even have been worshiping him in the first place. It's like that could have worked. And Terry could still be there, but you instead, it's like you just have to resurrect him. It's like, come on. It's like that's just. I just want him to die. Can we not just keep having him escape death by, like, the skin of his teeth? I just. I want them to move on. I want them to move on from him. It's like with what's clearly going to be Erebos growing in power and becoming kind of the new main villain. Like, that's very clear that's happening here. They need to get rid of Viren. Like, he just does not have a place in this series anymore. He's clearly being overtaken as the main villain by Erebos. Can we just have him finally die this season? Like, seriously. Anywho, I think I rambled on about all that shit enough. I had to vent, I guess. I had to vent, I had to let that out. And let's just continue on for the good stuff that we're going to get. Stuff with Ezrin and Callum and Rayla and our beautiful brides to be. Let's focus on the stuff that makes me happy with this series. So, when the screen fades to black, please follow the link. I don't know. I'm so thrown off because I just got in that entire mood and mindset with the entire rambling about Viren and Claudia. Let's try this again. Okay. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, unfortunately, we didn't get any follow-up on our engaged girlfriends in this episode. But, on the plus side, no Viren. Like, we saw Claudia and Terry, but Viren was not in this episode. Like, I was a little surprised at that, honestly, but very happy. Very glad he just was not in this at all. Sucks that we didn't get our girlfriends, but glad he wasn't in it. So we have follow-up on Rayla. We see that she understands how much her leaving has hurt Callum, and she wants to fix it. She's missed him. She wants to heal their relationship. And you know Callum does too. He's rightfully upset. And it's like what Ezrin says in his big speech. Like, when bad stuff happens, it's very, like, deserved to get angry. You have every right to get upset when loved ones die, when fear has ruled your lives for so long. Trust is hard to come by. It's hard to just accept. after so long of these two sides being against each other, people aren't just going to instantly accept it. And Ezra acknowledging that is a huge deal. That there is a lot of pain, a lot of sorrow in there. But at the same time, he's saying that we need to give it a chance. We need to give healing and growth and change a chance. We can't be crippled by our fears. It's perfectly reasonable to be afraid. It's perfectly reasonable to be upset. But you can't let that control you. And you see the contrast there with Ezrin's speech contrasted with Claudia's fight. And you can see like how she's basically not listening to his words. How she's basically giving in to her fear, to her hate, to her anger. Because she refuses to change, to move on, to grow as a person. And it almost causes her death. If Terry weren't there, she would have died. She lost that battle. And Terry had to do something that he was horrified by, something that absolutely fucked him up. He had to kill a person just to save her. And it's very clear that they do love each other. It's very clear that their romance is genuine. But it's also extremely clear to me that Terry does not belong here. Terry, is just very clearly a good person. He loves Claudia, and he, for some reason, worships Viren. And I feel like his praise over Viren is due to misunderstandings. Like, he doesn't truly know what Viren has done. Because I just don't feel there is any way that he could know and still be on their side. He's not that kind of person from what we've seen. So I think that he might be the key to saving Claudia here. But we'll see. Meanwhile, we obviously had some comedic stuff in this too, with how the ceremony went, not going exactly according to plan, but the Dragon Queen being very receptive of everything nonetheless. Not just Ezrin's big speech and seeing how wise and just amazing he is. Like, we love our boy. But, even, Callum blowing up the jelly tarts, it's like, she's like, oh, this is, some of it splashes her in the face. She's like, oh, this is delicious. Shit, I'm in. Even though she didn't get to eat the tart as it was meant to be. She's like, this is fantastic. It's like, I'm not even mad. It's like, okay, this is working out really well. And she even got a kick out of Soren's comedy somehow. God, that was cringe. I appreciate the support from Corvus, but it's like, It's like, my dude, this is not it. Um, and I like puns, but my God, that was painful. And yeah, there was obviously the heaviness and the emotional weight between Callum and Rayla in this episode. But you know it's going to be their relationship's going to be restored. Callum just needs some time to let it happen naturally. He was hurt, and he needs to be able to process that. And at the end, the dying message is sent, and everyone finds out that the staff has been stolen, and that shit is going to be going down. Things are not looking good. But I mean, hey, with like what, 9 episodes of the season? It's like they gotta push it. They gotta like get things started. Yeah, 9 episodes. I was right. Like the next season is gonna be coming this summer, but still, it's like they do got to get this going. It's like we've had peace for long enough, it seems. Sucks that we have to like go back into this shit, the wars and everything, and the concerns. It's like, why can't we just have peace and kindness and everything like that, all these good things. The Dragon Queen is pretty cool. We like her. Zim is pretty cool. It's like, why can't we just let this happen? Why do we have to? Why does Viren still have to be a thing? And then who knows exactly how strong Erebos is going to be? Probably very strong. Like, there's got to be a reason he's locked up like this. I just feel like this season's probably going to start going downhill. Not in terms of quality, but in terms of like what's happening in it. Like, shit's going to start going down, and it's going to just keep going down to the end of the season, I think. And it's like the end of the season's going to be like this big, massive, just fall from peace. And everything's going to be wrecked. And then the next season, we're going to start working on building that back up. That's my guess. Because it's like, I don't think you can do both in this season. Not with as little time as there is with 9 episodes. I mean, I could be wrong. They might be able to pace that out, but it seems like it would be rushing it. I don't know. We'll see. But another good episode. I'm very much enjoying this so far. I believe I mentioned in the first the first episode reaction, that this season has received quite a bit of mixed reactions and everything from people. There's some people who really enjoyed it, and I've heard some people who really don't. Who, in some cases, couldn't even finish the season. And it's like, I'm not really seeing why on that second part. Like, if it's about the cringe jokes and everything, it's like the entire series has had that. That's nothing new. The animation and art in general just looks absolutely gorgeous. It's drastically improved. The characters, the story, the pacing, all of that seems to be fine right now. If it's about Viren, I understand. Like, that I can give you. But, like, I don't see anything else. It's like, so far, it's just as good. In some cases, better than previous seasons. And like I said, the 2 year time skip is actually being worked into this extremely well. It actually works. It doesn't feel random and out of place. So, yeah, I just, I don't get it. It's really that simple. I don't get it. But I don't know. I'm still only 3 episodes in. This is only 1/3 of the season so far. So hey, maybe maybe it changes. I don't know. But there are some people who I've heard like couldn't even like get through like 3 episodes, and it's like why? There's really no reason that I can find that that would be the case. It's like it's good. Like what? I don't get it, but it's all subjective anyway. So no big deal. Either way, speaking of subjective, I would like to hear your thoughts. So tell me down in the comments below, what did you think of episode 3 of the Dragon Prince book 4, The Mystery of Erebos? So let me know down below. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.